Hello, buddy. Welcome to my wonderful channel, Playboy 100,000. Welcome to my wonderful channel, Playboy 100,000. I wanna fuck 100,000 ladies. A Playboy is somebody who is well educated. A Playboy travels the world. A Playboy has a lot of money, and a Playboy is kind of like a modern kind of gentleman. He enjoys the company of beautiful chicks, and a Playboy needs to have a lot of money, otherwise he cannot maintain a certain lifestyle to impress all those ladies. Now, I guess you remember, I told you something about the violin player. And she's still the peak. I told you in my other video that she's the Rolls Royce when it comes to a lady. And I kind of was confused because I feel something for her. I still feel something for her, but the case is she's a professional violin player. She's constantly on the road. It means it's very difficult to maintain an intact relationship, So I made an agreement with myself. I said okay, she's constantly on the road, so we do not see each other really often. So I think I came to the result to say, let's say, goodbye, so she's part of my project. I already fucked her, and so my project is going to develop, and I'm about to create a homepage. Yes, a homepage, but it takes a while, and also I'm about to show you, I'm about to create something where you can hear, every time I fuck a lady, I do a recording, even visually, so I can prove everybody, that I do it for real, it's real. It's not like I'm doing all those blah blah what everybody does, and I decided to create a platform where from time to time I'm gonna leak something. Sorry, please, I have to be precise. The fact is, listen please, I would never ever disgrace a lady, so you're never gonna see a face. You hear only sounds, you hear my voice, you hear her voice, and so I can prove to you that everything is real, That is the reason why I'm gonna create another platform, but it takes a while. Now, I'm still in Milan, and Milan is the best thing that could ever happen to me, It's a wonderful town, a wonderful city, and especially there are so many international people around, many people from East Europe, Ukraine people, Russian ladies, and many people from whatever, from the whole world is in Milan, it's a brilliant city. And the fact is, also the weather is kind of it's brilliant in Italy. Those guys, they have so much culture, and I enjoy Milan. Before that time, I used to live in Paris, and Paris is kind of Paris people, French people, they are really strange, kind of they think they are the greatest nation on the face of the planet Earth, but those guys are everybody in Paris, pretend to be something big, but Milan, it's they are so down to earth. They work hard, Everybody has a business in Milan, there's so many small businesses, but family businesses, it's brilliant. And I met a lady again, and she's a TV personality, and she is kind of she's really tall, taller than me, she's she's taller than me. She's 5'11", and I'm 5'9", and she's wow, interesting. Her name is Miranda. Interesting lady. Not that model, not Miranda Kerr, another. She's an Italian lady. You see it immediately that she's an Italian lady. The thing is, with all those Italian ladies, when they are young, they look stunningly beautiful. as soon as they get older, as soon as they step into a relationship, a real relationship, or into a real marriage, guess what? They gonna get fat, really fat, So, but anyway, I do not want to marry those ladies, I just want to have my fun, because I'm convinced that every lady on planet Earth is only there to serve a man sexually, only for sex reasons, Otherwise, the human race is going to die. You understand the game? And it's Mother Nature created that game. Miranda, she has brown hair, beautiful straight brown hair, beautiful tits, beautiful, extraordinary long legs, even without high heels, beautiful long legs, a wonderful slim figure, and guess what? She is. Let me tell you something again. She grew up in the south of Italy somewhere. I've forgotten the name. But she's in Milan to study law. And guess what? She behaves. She's a slutty whore. She likes sex, Back in her hometown, she wasn't even supposed to have male visiting in her apartment, for example, because of her parents. They are really, you need to understand, Italy is a very Catholic country, and also like Milan is very Catholic, but it's a big city, it's a cosmopolitan city. It means it's like, let's say it's a typical big city, like, it's a typical city, like, where people go to do whatever they want to do, So, back in her hometown, I've forgotten the name. She wasn't even supposed to have male visiting in her apartment. She wasn't even supposed to meet with a guy outside. I mean, to go to a cafeteria, she wasn't even supposed to. And again, another thing, she wasn't even supposed to go out after 6 o'clock. Can you believe it? Now she's in Milan. And now she does whatever she was dreaming of, She fucks around, For sure, everybody should have this kind of like sexuality, everybody, but in her case, it's a little bit, whatever, So, how did I meet Miranda? Yes, how did I meet Miranda? We were introduced by a friend of mine, and, I live in a area in Milan, a very sophisticated area. Everything is really clean. Everybody is kind of like really, really busy. There's a lot of money around. And so it's kind of like, as a playboy, you need to have that kind of lifestyle. Otherwise, you cannot name yourself a playboy. And I want to fuck 100,000 ladies, and Miranda, I fucked her, yes. The thing is, she was kind of like really horny, it's written on her face, I need sex, I need to get banged, So, and we got introduced to each other, like, and the same procedure as always. What is your name? I told you my name. What are you doing for a living? I told you what I'm doing for a living. And, basically we kind of like enjoy our relation, how we got introduced, our being together, and then we went to a club, to a club just, to finish the day. That's basically it, And a famous fashion designer was around, Roberto Cavalli, a very famous fashion designer, And I met him a few few years ago, and but I wasn't really sure if he's about to remember me. So I approached him like, hello, maybe you do not know me anymore. But he was like, Italian accent, like, he's really friendly. This guy, I like this guy, and he was like, no, for sure, I do know you, and how are you doing? What are you doing in Milan? And I told him like, that I moved to Milan too, and I consider to stay for a while or maybe forever in Milan. And great. And so I introduced also Miranda to Roberto Cavalli, and he was really friendly. He gave her a hand kiss, and he's kind of like short, Roberto Cavalli, he's really short, and Miranda is really tall. You need to visualize that, it's really funny. So, and Roberto kind of like, he was about to leave, and, he gave me his telephone number, if you need anything, you're welcome to call me anytime. And so we said goodbye. He left the scene with his entourage. And Miranda asked me then, from where do you know Roberto Cavalli? From where do you know him? And so I couldn't really, I told her like, it's the truth, but I cannot say I know him, because once I went to a fashion event, and so I was like a VIP guest, and so I kind of like came in touch with him, based on that. So I do not really know him, I know he's Roberto Cavalli, I know he's a designer, I know he's famous, and that's basically it, so I do not necessarily know him. I never visited him, I never gave him a call, he never gave me a call, so it's kind of like, I didn't know if I approach him, if he's still able to remember me, for example, so, but he did, so he's kind of like a down-to-earth, famous person, And so she was kind of like really impressed. Really, know him, a big designer in Italy, and so we had a drink, and then we went off, separately. I mean, we left the club, and she stepped into a taxi, and I went home. It means we went home separately, for first. And, on my way home, I received a text message like, are you going to sleep immediately? And I texted her back like, I do not know really, maybe watching television or whatever. And she was like, I don't think I can sleep right now, or maybe we can meet again. And so I told her like approximately where I am like right now, but I'm close to my penthouse apartment. And so she was like, okay, no big deal, I can come around. And so she was already there when I approached my apartment, so maybe she planned everything, but I didn't ask, no big deal. We went into the elevator, and then entered my apartment. It's a really big penthouse apartment. I mean, really big. She was kind of like, wow, what are you doing for a living? So, but the thing is, I do not fuck a lady in my penthouse apartment, because it's kind of like a private space, so I told her also like, I have a mansion, a house outside of Milan, and maybe if you like I can show you that property. And she was okay, she agreed. I started to call a taxi, and it was a long taxi ride, because I couldn't wake up my driver was already late evening time, so I couldn't wake up my driver. And we entered the mansion, and she was really impressed, especially when she saw the swimming pool, and she was like, come on, let's get naked and let's swim. And okay, we got naked and we jumped into the swimming pool, and yeah, and so she was like, "Oh, it's really cold. Can you warm me up? Maybe can you hug me?" Like, so I started to hug her, and then I started to kiss her, and she had beautiful tits, even not real tits, those plastic silicone tits, plastic surgery, and but we didn't have had sex in the pool, in the swimming pool, So I took her out of the swimming pool, I carried her in my bedroom, and so we did everything, anal, and she gave me a beautiful blowjob, a wonderful blowjob. And I came several times in her mouth, she was really hungry for sex, cock hungry, yes, really cock hungry. And yeah, it was beautiful, it was fantastic. That was Miranda, and Miranda, the next morning, she kind of am I going to see you again? And normally, no, the thing is, I want to fuck 100,000 ladies, so I cannot deal to see the same chick again, and I did a recording even of that, how I fucked her, a recording, so I can prove it, even that I had sex with Miranda. But the thing is, I told her you have my number, and but maybe I'm about to leave Milan, or maybe I'm gonna stay in Milan, but I have maybe I have to travel a lot maybe. And she was like, so, but I want to see you again, and so, but I want to fulfill my project to fuck 100,000 ladies, so it doesn't make sense to see her over and over again, so, and, Miranda is kind of she's horny, she's a really horny lady, she needs, we did anal, we did it the whole night. You need to understand that, we had a break for sure, we were sleeping, let's say 2 hours, waking up, touching each other slowly in a soft way, and so everything happened again, then I fucked her again, and it was beautiful, it was wonderful. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Hello everybody, welcome to my wonderful channel Playboy 100,000. Welcome to my wonderful channel Playboy 100,000. Today I'm gonna tell you something about my hometown. I'm right now in Milan, and I'm gonna tell you about a lady from Romania. Yes, she's kind of her natural hair is brown, but she's kind of blonde. She's blonde. But for first, if you subscribe to my channel. If you ask me any kind of questions you and if you listen to all my other videos. Now I'm gonna tell you something about Claudia. Claudia is a girl from Romania, and when I saw her for the very first time, her hair was done, curly hair. I don't know if it's her real curly hair or whatever, but anyway, and she was walking down the street, and in my direction, and I saw her immediately, because everybody saw her, a blonde lady dressed up very extraordinary, and and kind of she stopped, and I know you, and well, I was a bit surprised. I asked her, please help me out, from where do we know each other, and she told me, yeah, we went to a party, and we were dancing together, but I was yeah, okay, I I could remember. I went to the club, but I cannot remember you, you know. And it took me a while, and then I realized, yeah, it was like a quick hello, because she was like staring at me all the time, and I said then, hello, and left the place. And yeah. And she was like, if you like, let's exchange telephone numbers, And it was her choice, It was her decision. She asked me, like, if you like, we can exchange telephone numbers. Okay, I agreed, and I was still thinking, of course, to fulfill my project, to fuck 100,000 ladies. Yes, 100,000 ladies. Yes, and she should be part of my project to fuck 100,000 ladies. And I was like, imagining. I was constantly thinking of the shape of her pussy. Romanian lady, maybe a beautiful shape. A beautiful shaven vagina, maybe with landing stripe, or a bit more hairy, or part shaven. I was constantly thinking of her pussy, and so when I was home, I thought like maybe to give her a call, but I started to wait one day. I waited one single day, and after one single day, I gave her a call, and she was like, "No, I'm with my family right now, and we are having dinner right now, and so I cannot talk right now." But I was like, why are you picking up the telephone if you are with your parents? Yeah. But anyway, women are what they are. Women are complicated. Women are strange. Women are, only on planet Earth to serve a man sexually. Especially me. I see women only as an object for sex, nothing more. Women are on Earth to serve me sexually. Yes, that's basically it. And I was like, baby, okay, I'm gonna give you a call again. And I waited then 2 days, and then I gave her a call again. And okay, this time she was like, "Oh, wonderful, you calling me. The problem, the thing is, I was with my family, and so it's very important. My father's like, if we have dinner together, he's very like, you know what I mean." And so I asked her to meet, and she agreed, and she came like, man, those people, those East European people, they know exactly how to dress up. That's a beautiful thing when you think of European chicks, if they are young, and she dressed up, wow, Jesus, man, and even her hair was done, great makeup, a beautiful, bangable chick, a beautiful chick to have sex with, and so we were sitting in a cafeteria, and I tell you, I was only thinking, to fuck her. I want to fuck you, baby, nothing more, nothing less. I only want to have sex with you. And you know what? I asked her, like, are you in a relationship? And she said, and yes, she is in a relationship. Yes, and I asked her, like, how long have you been in a relationship? And she said, for 1 day. It means since yesterday, yes. And are you in love with him? And so she was like, are you serious? I'm in love. It's my first, She was in love. Okay, stupid question, but I wanted to make sure is it real, and how old is this guy? And she said like 24, and she's 23, and yeah. Okay, young couples, I'm 35 and I'm experienced. Even when it comes to women, I'm experienced, and I have way more money and a way more better lifestyle. So I knew I gonna seduce her. I gonna seduce her to fuck her. I gonna seduce her to fulfill my project, to fuck 100,000 ladies. Yes, I gonna seduce her to fuck 100,000 ladies. I asked her I have a beautiful apartment, and I told her the area, and really, you live in that area? And yes, I have an apartment and also a mansion, and if you like, I can show you all my properties. If you like, we can